You're listening to the Health Powered Productivity Podcast by RaderCo. I'm Marcey Rader, founder and chief productivity lead. This podcast aims to give you and your team bite-sized, time-saving, focus-boosting, health-improving tips you can implement right away. Do you attend conferences with the best of intentions, but come back exhausted, overwhelmed with all the things you need to do, the people you need to follow up with, and that's in addition to the mountain of work or emails you have piled up to catch up on? Preparing for, attending, and following up after a conference can be streamlined to maximize benefits without feeling burned out. Here's how I maximize my time and energy at conferences. And I am going to refer a lot to the National Speakers Association conferences because that's what I tend to go to as an attendee. A lot of these tips I also follow as a speaker, but I have a different purpose, of course, when I'm speaking. Even though I'm referring to National Speakers Association conferences, it doesn't mean that this will not apply to whatever conferences you're going to. First of all, prepping. Set clear goals. Identify what you want to achieve. Maybe it's networking. Maybe it's learning specific skills, meeting potential clients. Have one goal. But if that feels too hard, make it one goal per day. Maybe on Saturday, I concentrate on meeting new people and networking. Sunday, I focus on learning new skills. When I first started attending National Speaker Association conferences, I had so much to learn about speaking on the stage and the business of speaking. And after being in the business for 11 years and speaking for more than 14, I focus more on the networking. And if I leave with one or two new things, then I feel like that's a success. Because if you've been doing it a while, you can't expect to just be wowed by all sorts of new stuff. And with their conferences, it's awesome because they often have one track that is the business of speaking and another track that is the act of speaking. And focusing on one or the other for a conference makes sense. 2, plan your schedule. Review the agenda and select sessions that align with your goals. Prioritize must-attend events. If you are an introvert, schedule in your downtime and don't get caught up in attending everything. And it's even more important for you to prioritize because attending every event doesn't work if you're tired, zoned out, or cranky. Reach out to people you want to meet. Ahead of time, contact people via email or LinkedIn to arrange a time to meet while you're there. But don't overload your schedule because you'll want to save some time for the new people that you meet too. I usually schedule 1 to 2 meetings with people before the conference starts. I'll get there a little early and say let's meet for dinner. I've met my friend Dawn for dinner a few times before a conference starts. I always try to hook up with my friend Mara. And so, I'll arrange to meet someone at one of the group lunches sometimes. Scott Zarrett, who is the founder of CPA Academy and one of the CPE companies that I speak for, he has such a great system that I reached out to him to get his take on conference prep. And what he does is he reaches out to speakers and exhibitors attending the conference he'll be at and sets up a Calendly to book time with him while they're there. And he'll schedule anywhere from just a couple of meetings to up to 15 meetings a day. And it might be a 10-minute meeting, it might be a 25-minute meeting. He creates a spreadsheet of all the exhibitors and makes notes about different people at the booth. For example, if Christine is new at XYZ company, she's their new marketing director, he'll make sure to find her. And he also uses this time at conferences to meet with his own remote employees to have some FaceTime with them. I have met with Scott at a conference and it was great. We were in Las Vegas. I was speaking at the Engage event and he reached out and said, would you like to meet in person? And I ended up, meeting with him in three dimension for about 20 minutes. And he showed me, some stuff, the behind the scenes on CPA Academy. And it was just really nice to meet him. At home, don't schedule meetings the day before you leave. Use that time to wrap up all your tasks. Pack essentials. Critical for me are comfortable shoes that I can walk miles in. I've walked as many as 30,000 steps in a day at the Orlando Conference Center. You want a jacket or a sweater because all meeting rooms think that they need to freeze people out. I just spoke at one this week that it was 65 degrees in the room. I actually take hand warmers and foot warmers. You want to take snacks, gum, mints, travel mug or water bottle, because we just end up using so many disposable cups, right? And then also just make sure you have time blocked out on your calendar for when you come back. I like to have times open for 25-minute virtual coffees or 10-minute virtual espressos to connect with people after I return. And I can send them my scheduling link and make it easy for them to schedule time with me. So during the conference, staying engaged without burning out. First, pace yourself. Don't attend every session. Allow for breaks and downtime to recharge. I choose which nights I stay out late. If it involves dancing, that's a check for yes for me. And which nights I plan to be at the early breakfast. Monitor your meals. Avoid heavy meals that can sap your energy, especially at lunch, or you risk head nodding during an afternoon session. And I'm not talking about the rigorous, I'm so excited about this session head nod. I think you know what I'm talking about. Even if you want to attend the session, you just can't help it. You're so sleepy. So pace yourself with meals. If you're at a three-day conference, that's 9 meals plus snacks that, you can arrive home with an extra few pounds you didn't want. I choose 1 meal a day to splurge, and the rest of the time I eat how I normally would. I am not on vacation. Also, what is it with having snacks every afternoon? Many consisting of cookies, ice cream stations, sports bars. Like we've been doing anything but sitting on our butts. It always just cracks me up. We just ate 2 hours ago and we're being set up to have a mega sugar crash before the end of the day. That's one reason I don't like being a closing speaker. Another thing, don't over-caffeinate. It's easy to drink coffee all day long because the lovely dark liquid is plentiful and served nonstop. But alternate with water or decaf tea and cut it off at 2 p.m. so you can sleep properly in your strange hotel bed. Network smartly. Focus on quality over quantity. A few meaningful conversations are more valuable than collecting a stack of business cards. One option, if you have an assistant, is at the end of each day, line up your business cards on the hotel bed and snap photos of them. Send your assistant a short note to follow up with them, schedule a time for a meeting, or connect with them on LinkedIn. Even better if you just record a video of each business card and say, like, I met this person at such and such, and this is what I want to do with them. And then your assistant can put that into some kind of spreadsheet for you. If you don't have an assistant, then just snap photos of the business cards, make a note of how you met them or why you want to connect. And if you make time during the conference for downtime or to recharge in your room, just connect with them on LinkedIn there, or write an email about, meeting virtually or something when you get back from the conference, but then schedule it to send 2 days after the conference. Because if most people are like me, you're not checking emails at the conference. You're just on, you're engaged in the conference. One friend of mine, Allie Ingersoll, she has quadriplegia and she doesn't have the use of her hands, and she uses Fiverr to help her. She just hires somebody that specializes in data entry. She takes photos of the front and back of business cards, sends them with the request to create an Excel spreadsheet with all the contact information, link to their LinkedIn account, and many headshots so she can remember what they look like. And many headshots can be grabbed from LinkedIn. If they have a website, she asks them to add that and maybe just a little bit about them. Move around. Take short walks or stretch during breaks to keep your energy levels up. I always prioritize exercise in the morning, but if you would rather prioritize sleep or networking, at least try to move during the breaks. Take a walk outside, ask someone to walk with you. And this is a great tactic if you just need a break from people. Step outside by yourself, get some time in nature, or even if it's on the pavement, you still are getting sunlight. put your phone down. Oh, this is going to be a hard one for people. It's okay to check messages, but don't spend the entire break tending to people that you can get to later. Tend to the people that are right in front of your face right now. Look at your phone and then put it away. Be present with the people around you. Don't check during meals or networking time. And please, for the love of pizza, don't scroll during the session. It's distracting to the people next to you, and as a speaker, it is just so distracting to see people on their phones. So please just put them away or go outside. Take smart notes. It's easy to come back with pages and pages of notes that feel overwhelming and you don't know where to start. I start each day with 3 pages. One is a page of quotes. One is a page of actions. One is a page of stories. The quotes page are things people say that strike me as memorable. Actions are the things I can do when I get home. And stories are the things I hear or learn that I want to remember to tell my husband. And it's funny because my friend Stan thought that I took a ton of notes at conferences. And I said, oh no, most of what I write are just things I want to share with Kevin when I get home. So at the end of each night, before I go to bed, I rewrite the actions and distill it to only the 3 most important that I want to take, or the 3 I'll actually do. And if you write down 10 things, chances are you'll attend another conference, still having things on your list from the previous one. So just do 3. At the end of the conference, often on the plane, or sometimes even as each day goes on, I'll distill down the 3 again. So if I'm at a conference on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday has 3 actions, Saturday has 3 actions, Sunday has 3 actions. When I fly home, I pick only 3 out of those 9. And that's my 3 for the entire conference. And I throw away the rest. I clean up my quotes. Sometimes I just throw that whole page away and then I'm good. And just a word on note-taking. Taking notes on a tablet or laptop is very distracting to the people around you. Click-clacking away isn't ideal for notes anyway. Why? Because when we're typing, our brains are often writing word for word, whereas if we're writing with our hands and a pen and paper, we're actually jotting down important points only, and we're more likely to retain what we've written. And also, just as a speaker, we don't know if you're checking your email or shopping on Amazon. It's super distracting. And oh my gosh, for the love of kittens, don't come to a standing room only session and spend the time on your computer booking flights. And you know who you are at the NSA Thrive Workshop. I love to take notes during sessions, but Dr. Sarah Glova shared her process for it. For her, it helps her pay attention. But to get something from those notes, she schedules a meeting with herself 1 month after the event. And the purpose is to give herself credit for going to the event, that's her introvert points, to look over her notes and jot down takeaways, and to pick and schedule action items from the notes. And if necessary, she'll schedule another meeting to review, or she'll decide to shelve or recycle the notes. So after the conference is over, organize your notes. Review and organize while the information is fresh. Highlight your keys, your 3 action items, only 3. Write down your plan, put them into your task or project management system, or put them on the calendar when you'll do them. If you have people you want to follow up with, put down your top 3 and reach out within 24 hours. And I'll often do this in the airport before I even board the plane. Follow up promptly. Within a week, send personalized follow-up emails to new contacts. If you follow the during the conference tactics, you already have these emails scheduled. And mention specific topics you discussed to jog their memory. Don't schedule any meetings for the day you get back. That's your catch-up day. Don't schedule anything the first day you're in the office. No meetings, no tasks. This is your day to calendar your 3 actions and catch up on emails and messages. My client, Cindy Chosick, she went to a couple of conferences and she had no plan like that. Never thought about scheduling time when she got back, and she had all sorts of great contacts, and now that's just part of what she does. And then your 3 actions. You only have 3 to put in place. Choose wisely. What will give you the most bang for your buck, be the easiest to implement, or make the biggest impact to you and your clients? Focus on those. Remember, there will be more conferences, more chances for education and networking, and more ways to do all the things you aren't doing next time. So by planning ahead, managing your energy during the event, and following up effectively, you can maximize the value of your conference experience without feeling overwhelmed. Thank you for listening to the RaderCo Health Powered Productivity Podcast. The show notes link to any resources mentioned. If you found this podcast valuable, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone you know who could benefit. For more bite-sized tips, our top recommendations, and to learn more about working with myself and the RaderCo team, from consulting and coaching to speaking and more, visit helloraderco.com.